Lisa here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to this exciting walkthrough of Believe in Your Own Magic. This is a brand new Oracle deck by Amanda Lovelace. The artwork is by Janina Medeiros. And this is a Andrews McMeel publishing deck. Now I don't think gotten any decks by this publisher, but I'm legit very excited for this deck. I pre-ordered it on Amazon. The box quality is gorgeous, but before I dive into the deck, I had actually noticed this deck on Amazon in pre-order a while ago. And what caught my attention was the artwork. I thought it was really fun and modern, and it looked like it might have some body positive images in it. And that got me really excited. And I hadn't actually registered that this was Amanda Lovelace. And when I say that, what I mean is that I didn't realize it was this Amanda Lovelace. So if you have seen this book, The Princess Saves Herself in this one, as you can see, I have a bazillion pages dog-eared in here. And I actually had to stop myself because I was dog-earing almost every page. So I still have some dog-eared, but some I dog-eared and then undog-eared. And I'm sorry to those of you who, like, that just makes you cringe. But when it comes to these kinds of poetry books, I really enjoy marking them and coming back to them. I love this. I had a big smile on my face as I burned the bridges to all the things I could not repair. Does the smoke still choke you? I mean, it's such an empowering... Okay, let me back up. The whole concept of, at least I think, of the... like, look at this. The story of a princess turned damsel turned queen. The whole premise to me of The Princess Saves Herself in this one and later works by Amanda Lovelace is it's very much about healing. It's very much about being empowered, and there is just... there's so much good stuff. Look at this. The princess jumped from the tower and she learned that she could fly all along. She never needed those wings. I mean, this is the vibe of this book. And as you guys know, I love books like this. It's the kind of poetry that I totally vibe with. You guys know that I love the She Book and She Book Volume 2 by Tanya Marcoule. Amanda Lovelace has, if you enjoy that, if you enjoy, what's some other ones? I can't think. I can't. But anyways, her work stands alone. Amanda's poetry is really good. I'd like to get some more of hers. She has several. I believe she has one that has a witch theme, one that has a mermaid theme, but they've all got this kind of fairy tale, super empowering vibe. And so when I saw that this was the same creator and that there was some overlapping themes, I was very excited. Now, Amanda has a YouTube channel as well, and she did a or I guess not a walkthrough, but like an unboxing of her own deck. And talked about it a little bit, so I will try to remember to link that in the description box down below so you can check that out as well. Go give her YouTube channel a like and check it out. But one of the things she talked about is that you don't need to have read this book or any of her books to enjoy the deck. The deck is a standalone product, and yeah, so that's a lot of my gushing in general about the theme. But y'all, I'm really excited. So it comes in a really nice, like, sturdy two-piece box. The only complaint I have about the packaging right out of the gate is that, I don't know if you can tell, but the cards and the book combined are actually a bit taller than the bottom of the box. So I have a feeling that the box was sized without the book in mind or something, because I feel like when the cards go in, they just fit. They just fit. So when you put the book on top, or on bottom, or however you do that, it actually does stick up, which means that this box doesn't go all the way closed. Like you can tell it's open a little bit there at the bottom. That's not really a big deal to me because I'm probably going to be moving these cards into a Peggy bag, but I thought it was worth mentioning that the box really should be a little bit deeper for this deck. And it comes with one of these little paper protector things. But it is a really nice box, and it has this gorgeous sort of rose gold detailing on it that I think is just really pretty. Or maybe it's copper. I'm really bad with metal colors, but it's really quite pretty. So it says on the back, two-time Goodreads Choice award-winning poet and USA Today best-selling author Amanda Lovelace presents Believe in Your Own Magic, a stunning new oracle deck based on her celebrated poetry series, Women Are Some Kind of Magic. And that should give you an idea that this is going to be a woman-centric deck in that way. With art by fairy tale illustrator Janina Medeiros, each card offers daily messages of empowerment to stir your inner princess, witch, or mermaid, while the highly accessible guidebook offers further insight. Whenever you're in need of some inspiration or validation, this deck will be here to help you believe in your own magic. Perfect for beginners and suitable for practitioners at every skill level. There's 45 cards and a guidebook. So I would agree that this is definitely a very beginner-friendly Oracle deck, and if you're drawn to the artwork, I think you'd really enjoy this. I'm going to enjoy it, beginner-friendly or not. I think this is good for people of all levels. And can we talk about these backs for a second? Look at this crown. Isn't that stunning? I just think it's so gorgeous. Cardstock-wise, it's a matte cardstock. It's kind of thin and bendy, but it feels like it'll hold up just fine. It's almost got that sort of smooth coating. It's a matte coating, but it is coated, so it won't have, it'll hold up a little bit, right? It doesn't have that sort of scratchy, uncoated feeling. So I'm going to zoom us in on the actual cards because I'm just really, really excited about these. And then we'll take a look at the guidebook at the end. Okay, so let's get zoomed in. Okay. So here we go. First we have Princess. You can be your own knight. How empowering is that? I love that. She's holding the sword. I love her freaking long, beautiful hair here and the shield. And what is that beside her, like the clothing? Oh, it's like a backpack. Perfect. So it's like she's got everything she needs. Now this one is one of the ones that caught my attention. Evil Queen, you deserve sugar, not salt. So in The Princess Saves Herself in this one, and I don't know if I'll be able to find it quickly or easily, but there is a poem in here that speaks about, yes, here it is. So I'm going to actually zoom us out and show you this. I can't help myself. I'm sorry. I'll try to be good through most of it, but this one I had to share. So it says, the queen, and it's crossed out. My mother smiled as she offered a cube of sugar in her upturned palm. Greedily, I accepted. I reached inside my mouth, delicately placing one, just one, on the center of my tongue, and I clamped down. Salt. That is what abuse is. Knowing you are going to get salt, but still hoping for sugar for 19 years. You may be gone, but I still have a stomach ache. I mean, it's potent stuff, you guys. And if any of you know a little bit about my story, you know that it just really hit me in the feels. And that's the second card in. Like, so yeah, very powerful stuff. And, you know, we'll dive into a message in the guidebook and you'll get a feel for how the guidebook is written, but just really potent ideas. Tower, unplug and relax for a spell. So y'all, this is shoulder stand up against the wall. This is a very curvy friendly yoga pose. This just has me all kinds of excited. I love that she's got like a steaming cup of tea and a little succulent and some crystals. Like, I am all about this vibe. Mirror, treat your body like the palace it is. I mean, you guys know I love the curvy bodies in this deck. This is something that I think is really done really, really, really well, and you're going to see that as we continue to go through. But I love this. Treat your body like the palace it is. And I love that this figure is in a cropped top, so she's not being ashamed of her body. She's dancing, she's relaxed, she's comfortable in her skin. There's so much good stuff there. Stars. You can manifest your every wish. I just love this. And you get this feeling almost of these two figures just having a chat and the sky's the limit. You have this galaxy overhead instead of a ceiling. It's so cool. Dragons, slay them all. Look how powerful this image is. I'm gonna cry just looking at this deck, you guys. This is such a strong image, and it just makes me, like, almost every single card makes me want to, like, give a standing ovation. It's just so well done. And here we have somebody who has a replacement appendage and a replacement leg, and I apologize because I don't know the correct term for that. And the fact that she is striding fearlessly towards this sort of castle where all these dragons are, you know, to slay her dragons. I mean, there's so many layers of meaning in this card, and I think it's just very well done. Oh, sword, make the change. I still remember the first time I saw somebody cutting her hair in a divination deck, in a tarot deck, and it was the Sasra Ibito Tarot in one of the cards, and that card got a lot of commentary because that's a very powerful act of stepping into newness, and it's a really strong I want to say archetype, but that's not quite the right word. It's a really strong symbolic act, right? So make the change. Love that. And I already read you the poem that this is inspired by. Wings. You never needed those wings to fly. You guys, seriously, I want to cry at every image. Phoenix, how's that for a happily ever after? I mean, it's such an empowering deck. If you're looking for something that's going to make you feel like lifted up and, you know, connected to your inner power, man, this one is just red. Forgive. And I'm sure there's a poem somewhere in here that this one is loosely based on. But again, you don't need to know the poems. I'm assuming the guidebook is going to give you the message that you need. I just love this image. Sun, paint the sun back into your sky. Oh, again, this really puts the power back in your hands. I love this. This whole deck feels like the crown that you can put on your own head. It's so good. Expectations, don't seek anyone's approval. Yes. I love this body is probably the most like my body. I mean, you know, whatever. Like there's no exact match, right? But lioness, you've earned all your stripes. And there are little stretch marks on her hips, on her belly. Such a beautiful, empowering card. And then we have this whale that's just breached in the background. And she's holding a book. I wonder if the viewfinder will let me see what that says. Oh, it says fairy tales. Oh my God. So good. And the colors in this deck are really beautiful. Thorns, weave together the crown you deserve. Yes. Okay, I'm fussing with the cards because I'm so like hyper excited. Garden, something lovely will grow from this. Oh, I mean, if you are healing, if you've been through heartbreak, I mean, gosh, these messages are so helpful. Bitch fire, stand up for yourself. Yes, and look at these nails. I mean, ugh. And flower, be honest with yourself. Tree, let them go. Lavender, surround yourself with love. Lighthouse, don't doubt your worth. Sorry, I'm getting all emotional again. Look, I am always enough. She's hanging a hanging that says that. I mean, you guys know this is totally speaking my speak. Clover, release your guilt. I'm really curious about some of the like plants that are coming through in some of these messages, and I'm interested to see if the guidebook addresses the sort of plant medicine, I guess. Library, take control of your own narrative. Confidence, it comes with time and practice. That is so true. I love this potion. Remember to practice self-love, and it says basic witch. Again, loving all of the curvy bodies in this deck. But that's not all you see, and here's a perfect example. Mural, be your own first priority. Feather, think first before you judge. Witch, justice is coming. Oof. Protest, start a revolution. Man. Feast, slow down and celebrate yourself. This card really speaks, in my opinion, to sort of being present with your experiences. I love that. Castle, it's time for healing, not war. Universe, we're all just stardust. Escapist, come home to yourself. Nostalgia, focus on the here and now. Voyage, you already have all of the answers. I think this is really, really wonderful. I think the ones with the tails in the background may be the mermaid cards. I'm not entirely sure how to tell which go with which grouping. But you see this little tail flipping, and I realize that's probably not a whale. I think that's meant to be a mermaid. Shark, swim away from this situation. Really interesting there. Gold, you don't need someone else to fix you. This is so beautiful, and this is, I forget the name for it, but the gold in the cracks of cracked pottery, that is, I believe, a Japanese practice. Someone please feel free to correct me in the comments down below, where the imperfections in pottery, or the cracked pottery, was repaired through molten gold, and it was a way to sort of highlight the beauty of imperfections. And that's what we see here, is we see her holding a cup with that gold in the imperfections, and I think that's really stunning. You don't need someone else to fix you. I mean, that's such a powerful message. Gray, endings are inevitable. Villain, you can always rewrite the story. This makes me think of Ariel and the fact that her voice was caught in a shell by Ursula, and this idea that she can smash the shell and free her own voice. That's what it makes me think of. I don't know if that's what it's meant to be about, but that's what it makes me think of. Raindrops, take a chance on them. Morning, the world awaits you. And she's underwater, so I'm guessing this is another mermaid card. Sundress, do it for you. Oh, there's so many layers to this. First of all, she's in a sundress in the snow, and she's exposing her skin, and she has a pigmentation. Again, there's a name for this, and somebody's told me before, and I constantly forget. But she's got a pigmentation thing, and this is something that could cause somebody to feel really self-conscious, but she's embracing who she is and doing that in spite of the cold. It's like a real power statement. I really love that. Homeward, take yourself out on a date. Spaceship, don't be afraid to sing. Storm, every hurricane comes to an end. Truth. And Throne, your potential is endless. And here we have a princess, a witch, and a mermaid all sharing power, all sharing leadership. I think that's just a really potent message as well. I'm going to zoom us back out. Oops, wrong direction. There we go. So yeah, as you guys can see, this is a beautiful deck. We're going to give it a little shuffle and draw a card or two and check what the guidebook has to say in a moment. They shuffle really well. Again, it's a thinner cardstock, but it feels like it'll hold up just fine. These are oracle-sized cards. I have larger hands, so I have no problem riffle shuffling them. I'm going to have to find just the right, let's see what that one is. Expectations. So maybe we'll check that one in a moment with the guidebook. Let's take a look at the guidebook. So it's a smaller style guidebook. Books by Amanda Lovelace. The women are some kind of magic series. So those books are The Princess Saves Herself in this one, which I shared with you guys here. And then the other books are The Witch Doesn't Burn in this one, and The Mermaid's Voice Returns in this one. So you can kind of see where some of those themes showed up through the cards. And there's also a Things That Haunt duology, to make monsters out of girls and to drink coffee with a ghost. And there's a You Are Your Own Fairy Tale series, which the first book in that is Break Your Glass Slippers. So that's sort of a summary of Amanda's other books. There's an introduction here, a little bit about what's the difference between tarot and oracle, how do I use it, why no reversals, some suggestions for questions. Okay, so princess cards look like they go through, so 1 through 15 are princess cards, and then starting at 16 you have witch cards, and that goes through until we get to card number 31, and 31 to 45 are mermaid cards. So there's 15 cards from each set. So let's take a look at this one. Now this is card number 12, so this will be a princess card. Expectations, don't seek anyone's approval. So let's see what it says in here for card 14 and get a feel for the writing style of the book. 14, here we go. Oh, wait. Nope, I'm on card 12. What am I saying? Somebody's probably yelling at the screen. No, Lisa, it's 12. It's 12. Okay. Expectations. Don't seek anyone's approval. People will always have their own expectations of who they think you should be. Their opinions are almost always based on restrictive societal norms and therefore are extremely unrealistic no matter what they tell you. Remember that you have permission to be whoever it is you most wish to be. You don't need anyone else's approval, only yours. Yay! This is so good. You guys, this is so good. She's literally speaking my speak. This is the kind of stuff I talk about. If you've read or been reading The Self-Worth Path, this is the kind of stuff I talk about in The Self-Worth Path. So this is very much my, this is totally my jam. This will be an amazing deck for me to pull into my empowerment styled client spreads. This will definitely be a deck I'm going to be actively working with, and I'm probably going to, I mean, by the time this walkthrough goes up, I may have already worked with it. Who knows? Who knows? Time will tell. But I'm very excited to dig into this. I think this is just spectacular, and there hasn't really been something like this out in the Oracle space yet. Let's give these guys a little fan. Look at that. Whoop. Yay! Oh my gosh. So that, my friends, is the Believe in Your Own Magic Oracle deck by Amanda Lovelace. You can pick this up probably directly from the publisher at andrewsmcneil.com. I picked it up from Amazon. I will have a link to the purchase on, or link to the Amazon link listing. What is the right word? Yes, I'll have a link to the Amazon listing in the description box down below if you want to check that out. Please be aware, as I have been mentioning regularly on my videos, all of my Amazon links are affiliate links, so if you click those, you don't pay any more, but I do get a small commission on those purchases. Please never feel any pressure to use those links. You can just pop the name of this deck into your Amazon search window and purchase it directly, no problem. And you can also potentially purchase it direct from the publisher, which is something worth looking at as well, especially if you are in the same locale as the publisher. So thank you again so much for hanging out with me. Please hit like if you enjoyed this video. Share this. If you know that there are groups or there are places where they may not have encountered this deck yet, please share this one far and wide, because I think this is one that deserves a lot of love in our community. So I am excited to hear what people have to say about it. I'm excited to see this one get some attention because I think it very much deserves it. And as always, subscribe if you are new here and you want to see more content about tarot and sometimes self-worth and witchy stuff. And remember, if you want to book a private one-on-one tarot reading with me, you can do that over at supportivetarot.com. Thanks so much, you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!